Putting a graphics kit on your dirt bike shouldn't be that big of an ordeal. In this video, I'm going to give you a few tips that I've learned over the years to keep your bike bubble and blemish free when you put on your graphics, so stay tuned. Special thanks to SKDA and Elevate for hooking it up with this sick graphics kit. More on Elevate a little bit later. Get your graphics kit and put it all out somewhere where you can see all the pieces to your graphics kit. That way, as you go along, you can throw away the stuff that you've already used and keep a workspace nice and clean and be able to move quickly between each and every part. Now that all my graphics kit is laid out for me to see, one thing I see a lot of people do is take their plastics off of their bike to put their graphics on and then put their graphics and plastics back on. Don't do that. Here's the two reasons why I tell people to keep their plastics on their bike when they're putting on their graphics. One, they're nice and sturdy. They're not gonna move around while they're bolted to your bike. If you take them off, you're not only gonna have to be fighting the plastic from moving around, but the graphics as well. Number two, when your bike has its plastics on, you're able to line up each individual graphic so everything looks nice and flush the way it's supposed to. Just something that can help. One of the things that a lot of people do is they get all their graphics off, then they slap their new ones on, and they wonder why there's so many bubbles and blemishes. Make sure your plastics are clean. Let me show you how. I just have a Windex cleaner here and an old shirt. Now you'll notice back here, all these black plastics are brand new. They haven't had any graphics on them, so all I'm going to do is dust them and make sure that there's no fingerprints or anything like that on them. Check out this front fender. This is an old fender. I had graphics on this before, and you can see that there's still blemishes on here. Any type of ammonia cleaner can do really well. You're just going to spray it on there and scrub that stuff off. Once it's been cleaned, make sure it's dry. Just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the front of the bike and work our way back. Coming to this front fender, what I'm going to do is grab the front fender graphic and I'm going to peel about halfway down, not the whole way. The reason why is because I want to be able to line up everything up front before the backside gets stuck to the plastic. The nice thing about graphics nowadays is even if they get stuck in the wrong position like this, they're really easy to take off and you're not going to destroy them. Newer graphics, especially in the quality that SKDA has, these things are very malleable and workable, so don't get too worried about if you're going to have to pull them back up. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to start by lining up just that front tip there and getting that portion started right down the middle. And then I'm going to use my fingers to work my way out. As I get to these pieces, I'll peel off and then push these down on the plastic. I will tell you, the more you use your hands and fingers to rub that graphics kit in, the less amount of bubbles and stuff you're gonna see. So I have it leaning a little bit too far to the right, no big deal. You'll notice I'm just gonna peel the whole thing back off again and start over. That looks a little bit better to me. Using my hands to rub everything into the grooves and edges that I want it to go into. Now realize, guys, it's a graphics kit on a dirt bike. It's okay if it doesn't look perfect, because most likely we're all gonna crash, it's gonna get beat up, it's gonna get dirty. Don't stress it. And that took me like 2 minutes to do. It really shouldn't be that hard. Now look at this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a little blemish right here. It's okay. With the rubbing of your fingers, you can actually rub that stuff out. Even if there's bubbles, a lot of times you can rub out those bubbles just by pushing down on them. So we're gonna move on to one of the longer, harder pieces, and this goes to the front shroud on the right side of this KTM. Now, with this comes a couple of pieces that need to tuck under the seat. Don't just force them under there. Take the time and remove your seat, and you'll have a better opportunity to make everything look nice and flush when you put it on. We're gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna peel off the first part, line it up to where I think it's gonna need to go. And again, start dragging straight down the middle. As I see that it lines up the way I want it to, that's when I'll start to go out from there. All right, so I've gotten to the very back here, and you'll notice that now that I have this thing on, there's this lip up here that tucks under the seat. I'm gonna start at one side, rolling that over. I got a bubble right there, and it's a pretty big one. All I'm gonna do is push it out. If I need to, I can even peel up the bottom to let the air out, like so. Bubble's gone. You'll notice on this part of the graphics kit, I have to line up a screw with this opening. A lot of times I'll do it backwards, where I start at the opening instead of at the front corner. The reason why is because sometimes if you start at the corner and work your way back, you end up with something like this. I start with the circle that I want it to match up to. Then I'll start at one corner and work my way down the middle again. Rear number plate, this one has 2 holes. We're gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna line up where I think the holes are gonna go, save that spot, then find the nearest corner. I'm gonna start with this rear corner. On this one, what I'll do is, to make it easier on me, I'm just gonna tear that off. Line up my circles. Find that corner. Make sure the corner is lined up. I'm gonna go right down the middle here and then start pushing away from where I just was. So down and away. Now that I have that portion on there, peel off the rest. Again, I'm starting to see a blemish, so I'm just going to pull it back a little bit, work in the middle. Everything's nice and lined up with the holes. Let's talk about today's sponsor, Elevate Action Sports. I am now an Elevate member, and what that means is that I get special access to some of the best motocross, off-road, and mental coaches in the world. Guys like Ryan Hughes, Jeff Emig, and so many more are on the Elevate app. If you're looking to grow your skill set in off-road, motocross, or just a beginner learning how to ride a dirt bike, ElevateActionSports.com is the place for you. Elevate Action Sports also offers huge discounts for companies like SKDA Graphics like this one, Rhino Power, Slacker, and so much more. If you're not an Elevate member, check them out at ElevateActionSports.com today. All right, graphics kit is done and on, and I have to be honest, I think this graphic kit looks awesome. Like I said before, go check out Elevate Action Sports. You can get a graphics kit just like this for your bike, any year, make, and model, and it's gonna look amazing. I hope those tips helped you out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on one of these videos to watch something else, and we'll see you on the next one. Later, MotoFam.